I just finished doing an interview with CBC TV from Saskatoon about a press release that got put out by Alberta Premier Danielle Smith and Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe yesterday. In fact, I think the reporter Jeremy Warren was at the press conference. And the reason I'm commenting on this is because you'll remember yesterday I did a video where I was complaining that the Alberta government was basically, a PR agency for the oil and gas industry. And what set me off? What was the kind of the final straw? Is that very press release that Jeremy wanted to talk about. And so what it was is it was nothing more than the laundry list of changes that Smith and Alberta have been demanding for months, months and months and months and months, and all the new regulations, all of them. The Clean Electricity Act, the oil and gas emissions cap, the whatever the greenwashing bill was, on and on. There's a long list of them, and they want them all gone. The Environmental Impact Assessment Act, which I've interviewed professors like Sean Fluker at the University of Calgary Law, who says it's not nearly as bad as industry portrays it. But industry wants a guarantee. And they don't want any tankers off the ban on oil tankers off the northwest coast up by Prince Rupert. They want all of that gone. It's basically they want it to be rolled back to like 2015 before Justin Trudeau and the Liberals came to power in October of that year. And then on top of that, we're not done yet. And then on top of that, they want at least one pipeline to the West Coast. And currently, Smith is talking about 1 million barrel a day, which is a huge pipeline, by the way. This is monstrous. But a huge 1 million barrel a day pipeline to Prince Rupert. Then she wants one to the north, presumably to Churchill. And then she wants one on the Atlantic coast. Now, from Hardisty, which is the hub, in Alberta, it's 6,000 kilometers. There is no way. Now think about, the Trans Mountain Expansion pipeline, which the federal government had to buy and complete, cost $34 billion to go 1,000 kilometers. And I can't even imagine what it would cost to go 6,000 kilometers and go over the Canadian Shield in Ontario, in Quebec. It's crazy. Anyway, they held a press conference and they said, this is our, laundry list of demands and we want them, it's like we've seen this a million times. It's not even an event. But what Jeremy wanted to know was why? Why are they doing this? That I actually could help him with. Because what they're doing is Donald Trump has changed the game in Canada. It used to be that, there wasn't a lot of, Alberta didn't have the leverage that it wanted to get all these changes and get pipelines built, but it does now. Because in response to Donald Trump's tariff war and his threats to annex Canada as the 51st state, the response to that from now Prime Minister Mark Carney was to build an east-west economy, get internal free trade, and then build infrastructure so that we could send more raw materials and manufactured goods out to Asia and Europe through these built-up ports in Vancouver and Montreal and so on. And to do that, and in the national power grid, forgot to add that. That's a big part of the plan. But to do that, because all of these things are in the provincial jurisdiction, he needs to have all of the provinces on board, including Alberta and Saskatchewan. And that gives Alberta and Saskatchewan pretty considerable leverage. Because if Carney wants to get this done, and he wants to get it done in a hurry, that's the other thing. There's no time, no moss growing on this guy. So he wants to get it done, and Danielle Smith recognizes that she has leverage in the negotiation, and she's keeping it in front of the public eye, into the news cycle all the time. That's what this is about. This is about those negotiations. And if she can create enough public support, well, the more support, perhaps the more she can, negotiate out of Carney. Maybe she will get 3 pipelines instead of 1. I mean, it'd be a minor miracle if she gets one, in my opinion, but maybe she will get three. And maybe she will, you know, the federal government will roll back some of those or all of those regulations. But this is getting to be a street brawl, folks. And, you know, everybody's polite now because Carney's a new kid on the block and he's saying the right things. And the oil and gas industry is just slobbering over, you know, Tim Hodgson, the new energy minister, natural resources minister and energy, because he's a former bank buddy of Carney's, and his reputation is that he does deals. And boy, there is no industry in Canada that loves to do deals like the oil and gas industry. Pipeline deals and oil sands expansion deals and on and on. So they're really, really happy right now with what they're hearing from Hodgson and, of course, what they're hearing from Carney. And Danielle Smith is their advocate, their champion. And that's why you will see, until these negotiations are concluded, which I don't know, might be the fall, presumably, it's going to be a barrage. It's going to be a PR barrage. So if you want to hear me blather on about that kind of stuff, you can tune into CBC TV Saskatchewan, probably the dinner hour, I'm guessing. And yeah. But folks, it's going to be a long summer if we have to put up with this stuff.